then, it is the Pro Action WMNS610P, exclusive to Argos, since Pro Action is their brand, their cheap brand as well. So this is their basic machine that they sell, their cheapest machine that they sold at the time, manufactured by Vestal, and I think the price was something like, to be honest, as low as like £140 at one point. It's made by Vestal on their P1 platform. That's their most basic platform. P1 platform is as basic as you're going to get. It literally gives you your 15 programs as normal and one auxiliary function as well as variable temperature. Yeah, no delay start or anything. That's your lot. For some reason, I've noticed over the last couple of years, so the last 7 or 8 years, delay start has been almost mandatory on machines. So simple machines like the Beko, instead of having like an option to change, it gives you time delay instead. So the P1 versions of Vestal, when they first sort of came out in 2015 onwards, gave you your variable temperature and an option. The option always changed no matter what to different ones. And in the instruction manual for the Pro Action, it doesn't actually say pre-wash. It says auxiliary function, as in it can be any one, but it doesn't then describe anything of what any of the options do at all in the manual. But strangely, I'm fairly sure there's another Pro Action version of this, same model, but has a different option. I think it has anti-allergy instead of the pre-wash option. So it is one of them. It's one of them. It's 6'7". Yeah, there you go, I've said it. So anyway, size-wise, it stands at a normal 85 centimetres tall, it's normal 60 centimetres wide, it's about 52 centimetres deep. It's not a slim version in any way. They did do a slim version of the Vestal, just not this. Like I said, price about, I think, £139. I think that's the lowest it got. I remember some Vestals getting to £129 at one point, but I'm not quite sure Argos did one. I think it was Curry's that did it at £129. 6 kilogram load capacity, 1000 spin, 15 programs. Not actually a lot, really. Normally, in these reviews, I will clean it all up. I'll scrub it, whatever, but I haven't bothered for 2 reasons. One, it's not really in the best of conditions. And 2, I haven't got time. It's currently nearly 6:30 in the morning on a Saturday, 29th of November, and this is going out later on today, hopefully. Hopefully, you'll be seeing this at 5 PM today. So, yeah, and I've not been bed yet because I've been work. So, finish work, come here, do this review, sort of edit it, and then it can render whilst I go to bed for a couple of hours. God, this is life. Yay! Yeah. So at the bottom here, we've got a rust patch, which, while vessels do rot in certain ways, this is the first time I see it rot here. Must be a slight leak somewhere in there, but I've not actually seen anything yet, so bit of an odd one. Anyway, your drain filter is behind this cover. Right, door handle is here. Pull it towards you. It'll only go so far because then it goes into the door. And then just pull the door open. Right. Common issues with Vestals, to be honest, of all ages, but in particular these. The door lock block that goes into the door lock will fall out and then will stop locking and give you an error code. Also, just to note, I found that interesting, that it's plastic, not aluminium. Now, strangely, our door seal is pretty much, it's got a tiny bit of mould. To be fair, it looks like somebody's tried to bleach the mould out a little bit, but tiny bit of mould. And then we've got this drum. It's a 6 kilogram load. I think it's a 42 litre drum. So it is rather small. It's quite small in the size of the cabinet as well. So yeah. Right, so we've got 15 programs on the dial, and a lot of programs that you want. So to have it with a cheap machine and variable temperature alongside it, it gives you plenty of flexibility. The only option you get is the pre-wash. To be honest, it's not a bad option, but of course extra rinse would probably be a more useful option. But hey ho, you didn't get it on all of these. If you're lucky, you got the rapid option. Right. So stop at the top. Between every single cycle, you will have to turn it up to stop first before you can reselect another program. So we'll go around the dial this way. Right. Also, the problem this machine had has mysteriously not done it. So, yeah, a bit of another one. Right. Start off with Cotton 90. Now, this is your normal cotton program for normal cotton laundry. What temperature you select, it will pretty much do. So, like when it's set at 90, it'll still do 82 degrees. If you set 60, it'll do 60 degrees. Set 40, it'll do 42 degrees. If you just do 30, it'll do 30 degrees, etc. So, it's made for washing a full load as well. It has an auto half load feature built into it. So according to the manual, the Cotton 90 cycle is supposed to take 3 hours and 15 minutes. But when I tested it at 90 with a pre-wash, which you'll see tomorrow on the other channel, it took exactly 3 hours. So, yeah. But interestingly, it also does 3 rinses. Yeah. This does 3 rinses. All the others seem to only do 2 rinses, manufactured by Vestal, even around this point, and it would take until the Bush from 2024 to do 3 rinses again. Don't know why. I thought it might be to do with the fact it selected obviously a full load rather than a half load, but considering that the time's saying apparently 3 hours 14 minutes and it took less than just under 3 hours with this pre-wash option, which, by the way, adds on a 30 degree, 25 minute pre-wash before the main wash commences. It should have taken 3 hours and 40 minutes, but it didn't. But it did 3 rinses. Yeah, not really sure. It might be down to the fact the intermediate spins are slower because this is a 1000 RPM machine. Maybe that's probably the reason why. So, your variable temperature is here. With this flashing, right here, that indicates where the cycle is going to start. If it's flashing, it means it's ready to select a cycle. Likewise, if we go down to rinse here, the rinse light is flashing to say where it will start. Same with spin. But more of that in a minute. Right. To actually see the temperature, you have to hit the temperature first, and it will go solid. Well, it would do. Because it's a Cotton 90, when we hit it, none of these lights up. Now I've pressed it again, it's gone solid. We're now at 60, then 40, 30, cold. Off is 90 degrees. Just so you know. Then you've got cotton with a pre-wash. Pre-wash can't be turned off. It will run at a max temperature of 60. And will do a normal length main wash cycle. Obviously it's made for washing heavily soiled cotton laundry, but interestingly, Cotton 60 with a pre-wash is 2 hours 40. I've just realised it's probably just done a half load version on the Cotton 90 that I filmed. Bearing in mind, trying to get it to do a full load is really hard because you can ram it quite full and it will still only do half load. Yeah, because normally Cotton 60 with pre-wash takes 2 hours, and according to manual, it's 2 hours 40 for a full load. Yeah, yeah. Right, then we've got Cotton standard 60 degrees. Total time for this is 3 hours 20, which it took when I filmed it. It washes at 60 degrees. Well, that's a lie. It washes at 60 degrees at a reduced temperature. You can lower the temperature if you wish, but if you lower it to say 40 or 30 or cold, what it will actually do is it will do a normal 40 or a normal 30, but at a longer wash length. So I think, like, say, cotton 40 on the standard 60 cycle will take around 3 hours still. And obviously that's made for washing heavily soiled items. It also only does 2 rinses instead of 3 at a low water level to save on water and to improve the efficiency. You can still add on a pre-wash if you wish. Cotton standard 40 is, again, the standard Eco 40 cycle. It's 3 hours and 10 minutes for a full load. This time around though, if you select 30, it does it at a lower temperature, just like the 40 does. So cotton standard 40 will run at around 35 degrees. Likewise, cotton standard 60, I think it runs around about 48 degrees, or something like that. You've got pre-wash. So all 4 of these are made for washing a 6 kilogram full load. It does suggest to only load it with 3 kilograms when washing terry toweling and nappies and stuff like that, or basically absorbent materials. Then we've got Eco 20, which is actually a cotton-based cycle that takes an hour 38, according to the manual, made for washing half a load though. Yeah. Also, if you select temperature, it will come up with 30 because it's at 20. But interestingly, you can select cold on Eco 20. That's because it will heat to 20. Yeah, it does. It's not Eco 20 and then it just runs at cold like hot point Indesit do. No, this will actually heat to 20. Yeah. Oh, also likewise, if you reduce the temperature on any of these cycles, the cycle time does become shorter. That includes Eco 20, for example. But the max load, interestingly, is for a half load of cotton. But if you put terry toweling in, it's supposed to reduce the load to 2 kilograms. My word of advice, don't use Eco 20 for your towels. That's gross. No pre-wash option available. We've got Easy Care, made for washing a half load of man-made fibres. Cycle time is 1 hour 29 at 40 degrees. Max temperature, interestingly, is only 40 degrees on this Vestal variant. Yeah, you want a synthetic 60, you have to buy the P3 or P4 formats of the Vestal. Anything to me, buy higher. Anyway, so we've got pre-wash as well available for the Easy Care cycle. Then we've got wool. Max load, 2 kilogram, or that's 1/3 of a load. Very short cycle, 39 minutes long. Max temperature, just 30 degrees, not 40. It washes at a high water level, gentle wash action, but the wash is very short and is followed by, I think, 3 rinses. And then ends with a short spin. So with Easy Care only ends with a short spin at 800 RPM. Right, rinse and spin is rinses, not just one, multiple rinses, followed by the cotton length final spin. Made for re-rinsing up to 6 kilogram. Interestingly, I don't think it does intermediate spins though. So it does like 3 deep rinses, followed by the fast final cotton spin. Yeah, bit of an unusual one. There you go. I'll have to film it actually. We'll try it out. Then we've got spin only. Spin light there is lit up to say where it's going to start. It spins for the full length time of a normal cotton cycle. Now, according to manual, it's 15 minutes, but I think it's more like 10. 15 minutes is for the 1200 spin and onwards, not the thousands versions, which are only 10 minutes long, which I'm going to demonstrate shortly. Right, then we've got the hand wash and delicate cycle. Now, this is basically the wool wash, effectively, but instead of it being 40 minutes long, it's 90 minutes long. 91 minutes long, to be more precise. It's obviously made for washing 2 kilogram of delicate fabrics. It fills with a high water level for the wash, no intermediate spins, and again, and does a gentle wash action, just like the wool. Just like the wool, max temperature is only 30. Ends with a short 600 RPM spin. Then we've got Sports, which is made for washing sportswear. Literally, that's all it says in the manual. Yeah, max load, half load of synthetic-y based type sportswear like Gore-Tex, etc. like that. Obviously, temperature is limited to 30 degrees to protect damaging your sportswear garments. You can add on a pre-wash if you wish. Ends with a synthetics final spin of 800 RPM. Then we've got Mix at 30 degrees. Yeah. A little bit longer than Sport, but effectively it's still, well, easy care, just at 30 degrees still. In fact, that's really all Mix is. Yeah, made for washing cotton and synthetics, or easy cares, all together, of all colours, you know, half load in 87 minutes. Alright, now you've got blouses and shirts. It does go up to, interestingly, 60 degrees. We can have 40, 30 and cold with shirts as well. Made for washing, well, apparently 3 kilograms of shirts, which is about 15 shirts. But what it does do is it will do with a slightly higher water level. It won't do any intermediate spins between the 2 rinses that it does, and it does a 600 RPM final spin separated into 3 stages. So, to be fair, it's an alright cycle and it does work for shirts. And you can add on a pre-wash. Then we've got Daily 60. So this was sort of first introduced on these vessels in 2015. Nothing has changed, so it's still the same. So it runs up to 60 degrees. You can have 40, 30 or cold. If you select a lower temperature though on Daily 60, unlike all the other programs, the wash length remains exactly the same. Yeah. Right. So you can have up to 60 degrees, and trust me, you can get to near 60 degrees in that time. Yeah, it's one of those few machines that will do a 1 hour cycle at 60 degrees and actually hit 60. Yeah. It does though, however, only 1 rinse and does a full length final spin. So yeah, it's made for washing half a load of, well, believe it or not, you can put heavily soiled cotton laundry in and do it in 60 minutes. It's just the 1 rinse that lets this down, unfortunately. Then we've got Rapid 15. Now this is done at 30 degrees, or you can switch off the temperature altogether. This is made for washing 2 kilograms of lightly soiled laundry, whether it's easy cares or cottons, whatever you put in. It'll do it in just 15 minutes. Again, it only does 1 rinse, and it does a very short 800 RPM spin, which will just leave things soaking wet, basically. Yeah. There's also a child lock function by pushing these 2 together. We've got on, and then we can turn it off. Right, so we've got our detergent dispenser there. This side is for the pre-wash. If you select either the cotton 60 pre-wash or the pre-wash option, you put then detergent in both of these compartments. If you're not selecting with pre-wash, you just put detergent in just this compartment only. So that's what we're doing. So there we go. Max amount you can put in the pre-wash is around 75 to 100 ml. Max you can put into the main wash is around 200 ml of powder. This is our fabric softener. It's got some old Tesco in. It's still sat in the bottom, so we're just going to leave it. It might wash in. You never know. Max for that is around 50 ml. Yeah, it's not a very big detergent dispenser at all. You've got little grooves there, and that is to put your little divider in if you want to put liquid in. We've also got our little release there for a drawer. To be fair, considering this is quite clean. Quite clean inside as well. Right. So once we started the cycle, the LED will go solid, say it's in action, and then what it will do is progressively work its way down to end. let's take a look. Well, they smell actually quite good. They're also quite rinsed. Yeah, spun fabrics off on Mantin, of course. They're spun rather well as well. So, let's give this out of 10 then. Well, so it's Vestal. I've rated all Vestals in the past, all relatively the same. They're not a brilliant brand. They never have been. And this is sort of no different. I do like the fact that despite being basic, it still gives you variable temperature, at least on this model and range. And it's a 1000 spin as well, so you'd think that the results would be poor, and they're not, actually. No. They're actually quite good for 1000 spin, but that's the caveat for 1000 spin. Don't get me wrong, once you get to 1200, the spin gets even better. And that's the one thing that Vestal have always done, at least spin-wise, they've always been fairly good at. Rinsing performance though is poor. Well, not on this. It turns out that the rinsing performance is okay on this rather than poor. So it's not that bad. It's still got annoyances like the Daily 60 only having one rinse, for example, and the fact that you cannot get it to sense a full load in any way, shape or form. Build quality is poor and a bit rubbish, and reliability is a bit hit and miss. Some of it's okay, but most of it is pretty poor. So it's still going to get a solid 6 out of 10. That makes it a little bit better than the 1200s, but not by much. 6 out of 10. Right, hope you enjoyed this review. Give us a like if you enjoyed it. Don't forget to subscribe for more videos if you haven't done so already. Give us a comment. Also, tomorrow on the channel there will be cotton 90 plus a pre-wash videos. So yeah, don't forget to go check them out. I'll see you guys in another video. So, bye for now.